What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's August 17, 2021. We are chugging right along. And there are 16 games of baseball today, 15 on the main slate. What? There's a doubleheader. Yankees and the Red Sox. For some reason, DraftKings loves to hang on to those doubleheaders. So we are going to briefly talk about all 15 games on the DraftKings slate, which 14 of them will catch the Fanduel slate. I'm going to identify a couple picks that stick out to me early on, and then you guys know the drill. Later on this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, we'll be live on the channel for another research session. Another big thank you. You guys yesterday crushed it. We set a concurrent viewer record for an MLB stream on this channel. Like I said, you guys have always been there for NFL and NBA. But baseball, it's a lot tougher to consume. It's a lot more boring. So it definitely does not go unnoticed, and it's not lost on me that you guys are showing that love. So I definitely appreciate it. This video is always brought to you by RunDFS.com. If you guys want the sheets, the my player pool, the bomb detector, all that stuff, and get into that premium Discord, go to RunDFS.com. Get yourself signed up, and as always, PrizePicks.com. Use code GUNDACKER if you're not over there yet. They'll show me some love. You show me some love. We all love each other, and it's one big group hug of love. 15 games today. Let's open up that RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet real quick. Blue Jays at the Nats. Blue Jays losing that designated hitter spot going into the NL Park. We got Alec Manoa taking on Eric Fetty. Blue Jays 5.6 implied run total without the DH. The Nats at 4. Next up, it looks like Red Sox at the Yankees. I'm not certain which two pitchers are pitching this game yet. Jordan Montgomery versus Tanner Huck is what I'm seeing on DK. I'm seeing different reports here. Either way, it looks like Tanner Huck or Nathan Eovaldi pitch tomorrow, whether it be early, late. And then for the Yankees, Lucas Gill and Jordan Montgomery. So one combo of that 2v2 is what you should expect on the main slate. A lot of talented pitchers in those four nonetheless, and just 7 innings, so it's probably going to siphon off much of the projected upside in terms of run total. So I probably am not on this game at all, but yeah, just keep an eye on that. That right now is giving us a run total for the Red Sox at 3.5. The Yankees 3.2. Yankees right now a slight dog in the second game, but watch those numbers throughout the day. It's a very, very important doubleheader for the NL East and for the second spot in the wild card race. Braves at the Marlins. Oscar Inoa coming back, taking on Sandy Alcantara. I do like Inoa as a play. I thought about putting him as one of the pitchers today, but spoiler alert, I did not. He did throw over 80 pitches in his last rehab start, so I will like him today, but he's not going to be one of the recommended pitchers. Alcantara, 9.8K. Implied run total for the Braves, 4.2. Braves went off in the second half of the game yesterday. Marlins 3.8 implied run total, so a really low run total against a really cheap pitcher who I do like, but we're going to be a little bit more conservative with our picks today. Angels at the Tigers. Dylan Bundy taking on Casey Mize. Tigers, Miguel Cabrera still seeking number 500. Dylan Bundy does allow over 2 home run per night so far this season. Implied run total for the Angels, 4.7. Shohei Ohtani, 6.5K. Notable, just missed one yesterday, got to the warning track, and he does profile extremely well against Casey Mize, who has allowed an over 2 home run per night to lefties. Tigers 4.9 implied run total. Rays hosting the Orioles. John means business, taking on Drew Rasmussen. Rays got there late. Matt Harvey kind of caved in the 5th inning or so of his start, and then the bullpen contributed to more runs and home runs for the Rays. Rasmussen, another opener type guy, and John Means, a stretched out lefty starter. I'm curious to see what this Rays lineup looks like today. Nelson Cruz had the day off yesterday. Wander Franco also probably in the mix here, and Randy Arozarena was a late scratch, so keep an eye on what this lineup might be. Of course, we'll talk talk more about this in depth later on the live stream, 3 p.m. Eastern today, 2 p.m. Central. Rays implied run total of 5. The Orioles 3.6. Reds hosting the Cubs. Reds, of course, popped off. That's what they do at home. They like to leave the planet Earth. Kyle Hendricks on the bump for the Cubs. Vladimir Gutierrez on the bump for the Reds. Neither pitcher anything unremarkable or overly remarkable. Kyle Hendricks is 8,100 on DraftKings. A sub 20% carry to both sides of the plate. Elevated home run per 9. I'm right back there on the red stack. Jonathan India, Joey Votto, both plays that are just locked in right now, and they're both pretty affordable, all things considered. And I don't think value or price point is going to be overly concerning for me today because of some of the cheap pitchers I already kind of like, and the fact that every team is on the slate. So there's going to be a lot of underpriced guys, and I'm just going to be stacking liberally without price being a factor in why I do or do not like players. But that's not really a driving point for me day to day anyway. I'm going to be on the red stack early. Brewers at the Cardinals. Next game on the docket. Corbin Burns is 11.5 on Fanduel, 10.2 on DraftKings. Adam Wainwright pitching for the Cardinals. Implied run total for the Brewers 4.2. Cardinals at 3.4. So just a 7.5 run total for this game. Interesting, right? Busch Stadium should thrive in that spot to suppress runs and probably a lot of power. So might see some ownership on both those pitchers. Mariners at the Rangers. Next up, I got Tyler Anderson against Taylor Hearn. Pair of southpaws going at Mariners with a 5 implied run total. Rangers 4.1. Feels like these two teams been going at it a couple days now. Neither pitcher or stack kind of stand out to me, but the Mariners have a pretty elevated run total, all things considered. White Sox continuing their series against the Athletics. Ronaldo Lopez penciled in to take on Chris Bassett. 9.1K on Bassett. Lopez 5.2K. Athletics implied run total 4.7. White Sox 4.4, so kind of low considering these are two somewhat strong teams out of the American League. Indians at the Twins. Bailey Ober penciled down against Eli Morgan. Indians 4.4 implied run total. Twins 5.3, kind of high there for the Twins, so we might be looking their way. Projected to be in the 90 degrees up there in Minneapolis. Royals hosting the Astros. Framber Valdez and the Astros offense projected right now, or not projected, have an implied run total right now 5.9. The Royals are at a 4.2 implied run total. Daniel Lynch on the bump, 5.6K for the Royals. Rockies and the Padres going at it in Coors yet again. I don't know who's starting for the Padres. I got Chris Matt right now. I've seen Matt Strahm in the mix as well. Herman Marquez, though, is the projected Rockies starter. Marquez, one of the better Rockies pitchers, and has been pretty solid at home. Padres have a 5.4 implied run total right now. Marquez has allowed a sub 200 average and a sub 0.5 home run per night. So I'm be interested to see how many people don't go back to the Padres tonight after a less than stellar outing last night that kind of made you drool at some of the other stacks that were popping off. And he's only 7,100, so I'm also curious to see how many people lean on Marquez. Don't think I'll be interested in any of the combination of Padres pitchers. Moving on to the Phillies game at the D-backs. Phillies implied run total 4.7. D-backs are at 4.5. Caleb Smith taking on Kyle Gibson. Next up, we got the Giants hosting the Mets. Marcus Stroman up against Logan Webb. Giants a 4.5 run total. Mets 3.6. So a pretty relatively low game total. Looking like it could just be in the 60 degrees over there, making that a really tough spot to get off offensively. And then speaking of in the 60s, Los Angeles Dodgers hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. 3.3 is your implied run total for the Pirates. Offense, Will Crow on the bump for the Pirates. Dodgers run total 5.8, and it looks like they'll be leaning on David Price to open this one. That is our brief overview on the entire slate. Now let's talk about some names that stood out while perusing through what is on the list. First and foremost, let's talk about Alec Manoa. pitching for the Blue Jays. Now, yeah, I am a little scared that they lose a designated hitter. Maybe they lean on his bat early on, but I also feel like the Blue Jays should put away Eric Fetty pretty handily, and if Alec Manoa is in a groove, let him go his 5-6 innings. He just threw 114 pitches against the LA Angels, gave up a bomb to Ernie's, and 11 strikeouts, 8-3 ground ball to fly ball ratio. He has been really, really solid. 30% K rate to lefties. That's significant to me because Juan Soto, Josh Bell, the only lefties in this Nationals lineup that have over a 200 ISO, and they also have a 20% or less K rate. So I'm hoping that 30% can kind of steal a strikeout or two against these two, and then the matchup gets really, really soft, and I like his chances at 8,600 to be a super solid play. I think the price leaves a lot of meat on the bone, and it also gives me a soft landing if we just get the 16, 18 DKP, right? Other guy I like is Corbin Burns. I don't understand this price point. I talked about it when overviewing the games. This is an extremely low game total. It's Busch Stadium. Burns is just 10.2K on DraftKings. I'll be honest, if Corbin Burns had an 11.5K price point today, I'd probably still be rostering him pretty liberally. 49 DKP against the Cubs, 8 innings, 15 strikeouts. Cubs don't really count as a real team these days, but a more modest expectation is probably 6-7 innings, over a strikeout per inning, and probably 25-30 DKP if he's on one. Has pitched 2 games against the Cardinals this season. 27 DKP is his average, and then getting the park boost here and getting a lineup that will probably be very righty dominant. I have just 2 lefties in the projected lineup, or switchies, Dylan Carlson and Tommy Edman, and throughout the lineup, a lot of 20 plus percent K rates and 30% on a guy like Tyler O'Neill, Harrison Bader, Paul DeJong. It can be a 1 and 4, and then of course you catch the pitcher spot a few times. So I think at 10.2K on DraftKings, that's a really low price point for a guy that should probably lead the slate in projected strikeouts and perhaps lead the slate in projected fantasy points. I think the opportunity is still great at this price point. Fanduel, you can make a case, start thinking about other options, but I still think a slate this big is going to give you tons of value to fill out even the heavy price bats that you want to get to. Let's talk about a couple of the bats that I want to get to, and we'll start going to that Minnesota game. Twins hosting the Indians. On the bump for the Twins, Bailey Ober. So far, he's got a 4.81 xFIP against lefties, allowing over 300 average to lefties, and a 2.22 home run per 9, elevated line drive rate, just about 30%, an elevated fly ball rate, 43%, and the hard contact rate is up there. Hey, Jose Ramirez has entered the chat. Hey, you up. We've done that before. Jose Ramirez has a 4.22 rating on the bomb detector with those metrics considered. 266 ISO against righties, and 854 OPS, and just a 15.9% K rate. 5,700, you got to go up there and get them, but I'm not going to allow price to get me out of the mix on high price guys in great spots today. I'm not going to put Ohtani in the mix as one of the sought after bats today. I feel like it's a little cheap to give you a 6.5K bet, but he's another guy that I like his spot a lot, and I think I'm not going to overthink the price point. I think he can be a super rock solid play against Casey Mize. So an example of how I will just take the value the slate gives me, and I'll run with it. Jose Ramirez, give him to me on DraftKings, 5,700, 4,200 on Fanduel. Moving on, let's go back to LA. Leading off for the Dodgers, Trey Turner, 5K on DraftKings, 3,900 on Fanduel. I'm loving Trey Turner being dual position eligible. Second base, shortstop, give me a little versatility throughout the Dodger stacks, and then also for him to fall as one-offs in stacks of other teams. I cannot stress that enough. I love a dual position infielder too. Trey Turner has a batting average of 295 against righties since the beginning of last year, a 200 plus ISO, 844 OPS, and of course he'll swipe a bag with the best of them. Hey, Will Crow on the bump for the Pirates. That's not what you want if you are the Pirates. 322 batting average allowed to righties so far, a 2.7 home run per 9, dating back to last year, an extremely elevated home run per 9 to righties. And every now and then he'll lose you and give up the free base. So I'm in on Trey Turner as a play. I like him as one of the highest floor ceiling ratio players on the slate as well. And he's going to be a mainstay in my builds in 20 maxes. And then, of course, will fall pretty bullishly in my MME. And then lastly, Weird spot, lefty on lefty matchup. But guys, I don't know what DraftKings is doing with the Michael Brantley price point, right? He is literally leading all of baseball in batting average. He is a professional hitter, and the Astros have been putting him in that 2 spot. And I just think the opportunity for the best average hitter in baseball to get 6 at-bats, maybe more if the Astros put up a big game. It's just too low at 3,600 for him to not offer me free fantasy points, and then being sandwiched in between Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa potentially. I just think the RBI potential, the run potential, and the potential to get 2 hits is too strong at this price point. So I think 3,600 is one of my favorite value plays points per dollar. Yeah, there's going to be 2K guys that I lean towards heavily later on in the day, but 3,600, what are we doing? 3,200 on Fanduel is okay, but DraftKings is really leaving some room for upside on this price point. So those are 3 hitters I'm digging, and let's talk about stacks. We're going to stick with the theme of the last 2 hitters. Astros stack. Yeah, Astros are the number 1 team in baseball on the road, and they're also the number 1 team in baseball against lefties in the WRC plus category, a 116 WRC plus against lefties, and they get the pitching stylings of Daniel Lynch, a 16.9% K rate to righties and 11% K rate to lefties, elevated average to both sides of the plate. They can get through him pretty quickly with a really strong hit for average lineup. I like their chances to just run the carousel every 90 feet and then dip into this Royals bullpen that I think is pretty doggone exploitable. And then going back to LA, I'm on the Dodgers stack again. I told you I like Trey Turner, but who's not to like in this Dodgers lineup? Will Crowe on the bump for the Pirates. He has been really, really bad. He walks lefties at a ridiculous rate, creating the opportunity for the big inning, allows a pretty high average to righties, a lot of power to both sides of the plate. I'm in on the Dodgers. They have a near 6 run total. Yeah, the weather may be a little bit more pitcher friendly, but man, bad pitching versus great hitting. I'm in on the great hitting side. A little bit was made about the Dodgers traveling from New York to LA yesterday, and we saw Dave Roberts give a lot of people the day off. Maybe we see them rotate another lineup tonight where a couple other people get a day off, a Trey Turner or something like that. But I don't know that there's a variation of this Dodgers lineup that I wouldn't be pretty invested in against this Pirates team. The bullpen's pretty beatable as well. So give me the Dodger stack, give me the Astro stack. I didn't want to be basic and throw you cores or nothing like that. So that's it. That's the first look today. You can give me Corbin Burns. You can give me Alec Manoa, Jose Ramirez, Trey Turner, Michael Brantley. You put that in a lineup for me, I feel like I got a pretty strong start. And then when I start dipping into the world of MME, yeah, Astros and Dodgers, I'm going to be pretty bullish on them, man. That's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit. If you don't mind, hit that thumbs up, show me some love, drop a comment below. Any interaction with the video really helps the YouTube algorithm push my channel up a little bit. Then, of course, in the pinned comment below will be a link to the live stream later today, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Hope to see you there. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Channel memberships are live. If you've got love for me, I got love for you. Earn your status as a baller, legend, or Hall of Famer, and get exclusive perks in this channel like members-only video content, live streams, and rock those custom emojis and badges next to your name that you can flex in every comment section on this channel or in our live stream live chats. Memberships are the best way to show love for me, show love for the content, and make sure more content comes your way.